Hawaii. How many of you? So you know that we open up with aloha, right? And everyone says it back. So I'm going to do that. Aloha. Aloha. Beautiful. Now, if I were to take the word aloha and put nui behind it, it would be so much more. Aloha by itself means hello or love. But if I put nui behind it, it means that I really love you, that I really appreciate you. So that's the word nui. So we look at this, and Richard kind of brought it up. We look at this as a Nui nation. We want you to be better as a nation. We want you to be more as a nation. And we want you to be greater as a nation. So with that said, I'm going to turn some time back to our next speaker, who is Kenzie. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just freaking you out, Kenzie. We're going to introduce our founders. And so I'm going to give the floor to our founders, Richard Smith, Troy Muhlstein, and Darren Alliance. So if you guys can come up and take this time up, let's give it up for those guys.
What order do you want to do this?
I don't know. I'll go first.
Well, I'll go first. I'm Darren Lyon. I'm talking a lot today, so I'm not going to say anything. Okay? Oh, we got to look at camera. That's right.
Oh.
We're on camera. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so it's you guys.
Okay, I'll take just a few minutes. I've been told that I have 30 seconds to 1 minute, so I'm going to make this quick. No, we got a little bit longer than that. Thanks for coming, everyone. It's great to see you. There's a lot of you that I haven't seen for a while, and it's great to reconnect a little bit. Thank you for taking a little bit of time on your Saturday. Come and see what NUI's all about. Get re-engaged, find out where we're going, what we're doing. And I want to just take a couple of seconds just to say a couple of things about the gentleman that I work with. So I want you guys to really understand who's behind the scenes at NUI, who's making the decisions, what's controlling the direction of this company. And about 9 years ago, Richard and I started working in this industry. It was my first experience in network marketing on the corporate side. And I had a couple of crazy thoughts about how to run a network marketing business or an MLM business. And Richard's taught me a lot, and I've learned a lot over the last 9 years. But we had some concepts that we wanted to prove out. And we hold them as guiding principles. And that is that we feel like network marketing is the best opportunity on the planet. I love the concept. I love the industry. But I really believe there's some things we could do a little bit differently to make it greater, to make it NUI. And so Richard and I were bouncing that off of each other. We had some decent success. And it wasn't until Darren joined us that this team really gelled. See, Darren has the ability to, through his experience, through his business contacts, through his knowledge, and through his passion to help 1 million people make $500, to really solidify some of the things that we're doing. So we have a really interesting dynamic. On a day-to-day basis, we got Richard and Darren who kind of run out in front on the marketing side. They're excited, they're all passionate, and I'm over here holding them back a little bit, saying, hold on. Every now and again, I got to rough Darren up a little bit, keep him on track. But at the end of the day, we all come together and say, you know what, it's all about you. It's all about us. We can all succeed together, and that's what drives us as a company. So know that every day we're fighting for you. We're trying to, in a really crazy industry that we're in, we're really trying to do things right, to give an opportunity you guys can be proud of, that you can rely on, have confidence in, know that it's going to be sustainable for a long time. And yeah, we have slips here and there, but that's our commitment back to you. So thank you once again for coming. Turn a little bit of time over to Richard.
I'm not used to staying in one place, Jeremy, so you're going to have to deal with me. Yes, I just want to say this. I wasn't married a week and my wife asked me, what's your dream? And I said, what do you mean, what's my dream? And she goes, what's your slice of the American pie? And I thought about it for quite a little while. And I approached her back and I said, you know what? I don't know, but I can tell you this. I just want to make the pie bigger. if you have a teeny little swedge of a pie the size of this room, you're going to be pretty full. You're not going to go hungry, are you? This is a coming together of 25 years of dreaming for me. I've always wanted to have an opportunity where people didn't have to sell anything. They just had to invite. Who here owns a Mintage mining contract? Just show your by the raise of hands. Who here's made money with that Mintage mining contract? The same hands are the same hands. Hello? The opportunity to make the kind of money that you're going to be able to make here and share that with the world is going to change this world. The compensation plan dovetails completely into both Symatri, which is Nui's heart and soul, and Mintage Mining, which is its sex appeal worldwide. They're both going to be very, very sexy and very, very exciting across the board. At the end of the day, I'm proud to work with these two gentlemen. Darren has more contacts and more opportunities that he brings forth to you. And Troy is all about, let's make sure the little guy understands it and can make money with it. Make sure the little guy can understand it and make money with it. And for the first time in the history of direct sales, there's a company that steps forward, and if you can't recruit a soul, you will have made more money than you spent. Because those there's three guiding principles that I feel like we run on here at NUI. Find out where the world's going and get there first, and we all know that's why you're sitting here. Blockchain is going to revolutionize the world. Number two, make more money than you spend. And number three, find a mentor. And you're going to meet some of our mentors today. Dave Childs is a brilliant, brilliant man. Darren is a brilliant, brilliant man. Clay is a brilliant, brilliant man. And I get a chance to teach you how all these components dovetail and how you get compensated here at NUI. Thank you for coming. Our staff is absolutely thrilled that you're here. And let's go change the world one person at a time.
Thank you, Richard, Troy, Darren. We'll go ahead and proceed. Our next guest speaker, this lady's been really active, and her and her team have put together some amazing things. And she'll tell you, it's been a lot of work, a lot of trial and error, I'll let her tell the story. But she's gonna talk a little bit about what her team does as it relates to core and reach and anything else that she wants to talk about. Okay, I didn't recognize her because she's in a dress. She normally comes in high heels and pants, and I was like, "Where's Ken's?" And she's standing over there in a dress. I didn't recognize her. So, anyways, without further ado, let me introduce Ken's. Come on in, Kenzie. And it's all her.
I don't know if that's like a compliment or not. Like, you don't recognize me. Before we begin, we haven't taken care of something really important, and that's the fact. Yeah. Really? Not loud enough?
Yeah, I sit back here and really, I know you talk loud.
That's awkward. Save it for me. Oof. It's intimidating. Is that better, Darren? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, back to what's most important. It happens to be St. Patrick's Day. So I see some of you wearing green. Happy St. Patrick's Day. For some reason at my house, this holiday ranks up there with like Halloween and Easter. So I woke up really early this morning to make sure that the leprechaun visited my house. My little girls set leprechaun traps, and the leprechaun causes major mischief, which just means I have a lot to pick up. But there's green footprints on the walls, and the milk turns green for some reason. But he always leaves some really fun prizes like Andy's mints and anything green, right? Gummy worms and green Gatorade. So, and yeah, I have some teenage girls, and they might think they're too cool for it, but I think they were the ones that woke up earliest this morning to see if the leprechaun came. So in that spirit, happy St. Patrick's Day. 27 years ago, I watched, okay, maybe St. Patrick's Day makes me emotional. 27 years ago, I watched a beautiful mother of 5, full of pain and full of doubt and full of shattered dreams, square her shoulders and hold her head high and enter the workforce for the first time in 19 years. She was determined to figure out how to make ends meet on her own. And she struggled. She struggled to do it all, and she struggled to be it all for her 5 kids. And at that young age, I realized how hard life gets when money is scarce. I realized how vitally important hope is, and in its absence, how quickly we stop dreaming. In those rough young youth days of my youth, I decided with an iron determination to never have to worry about money. At that young age, I thought, I can do this. All it's gonna take is a lot of hard work. And so that's what I did. At 12, I started working really, really hard, and I haven't stopped. The problem is, I focused purely on surviving, and I maintained that focus most of my life. Sadly, that means somewhere along the line, I stopped dreaming. Years ago, I stopped dreaming. Since then, I've learned a lot of lessons, and there's a saying that says, a bruise is a lesson, and each lesson makes us better. I've had a lot of bruises along the way, but something pivotal happened in my life 10 years ago, where I learned how powerful an extra $500 really is. Literally, a $500 opportunity knocked at my door one day and changed the course of my life. That's why jumping on board here at NUI and moving my kiddos across state a year ago and driving that ginormous U-Haul on my own wasn't scary. It wasn't frightening. And that's why coming here every day and working as hard as we all do and joining this amazing team to help the NUI vision come true is a really easy choice. From the very beginning, the NUI goal and vision and purpose has been to help change lives by giving everyone an opportunity to make an extra $500 a month. As soon as I heard that, as soon as Richard told me that, I knew this was a place for me because that's the story of my life. Now, we've been on this amazing journey over the past year and a half, and there's been some ups and downs and some twists and turns. I think we've had our fair share of bruises and lessons that we've learned. But there's a few things that have never changed, that have always stayed constant. One is that vision, and the second is the concept of core. One of my favorite quotes says, "Great things happen for those who don't stop believing, don't stop trying, don't stop learning, and don't stop being grateful." And that's exactly the perfect picture of where we're at with core. We haven't stopped believing, and we haven't stopped trying, and we haven't stopped learning. Heavens knows we haven't stopped learning. But above all, we carry around this immense amount of gratitude for everyone that's stuck with us and for everyone that's here through that journey. Core holds a special place in my heart. Sometimes it's a love relationship. Sometimes it's more of a love-hate relationship. But we've taken that concept and we've morphed it and we've molded and we've iterated it. And we'll continue to iterate core until it becomes a product. Until we've created the product we believe it should be. It's a work in progress, and it's not easy, and it hasn't been easy. But again, we're proud of it. And why are we proud of it? Because we haven't stopped believing, or trying, or learning. And we've made progress. That progress is real. We see that forward progression, and we're grateful for it. Now, with any company, I think one very important goal is to always identify your unique value props. What makes you valuable? What makes you unique? What makes core different? What makes it unique? What makes it beneficial? What makes it this beautiful platform and this brilliant concept? In talking about core, it's really easy for me to hone in on the uniqueness. And so I wanted to share 5 unique, valuable things about Core right now. So number 1, Core is a complete aggregation of ways to earn. We're pulling in and we're searching for and we're continuously identifying new ways to earn. We started, but there's a lot of room to grow. From downloading apps to watching videos, and now you can earn points by shopping online. Those are all current. And like I said, we'll continue to improve and add to and enhance. One addition we're hoping to make soon is the addition of earning through Amazon. So that's going to get really exciting. All right, number 2, the next unique thing about Core, and this is something that no other site of its kind does. So it makes me really excited. We've hand-selected and manually written offers. We have recognized that expecting you to jump into offer walls and comb through all of the deals is a pain. It's hard. It's not necessarily easy. So what we've done is we've taken the guesswork out of it. We as a team, we've jumped into the offers. We're figuring out what works for us. We're actually completing them. We're finding the simple ones. And once we figure out what works for us, we're writing it up and we're publishing those on the home page. So the new home page is an aggregation of the offers that we've actually completed. We're making sure that we have at least 1,000 points per week for you to do. So if the only thing you do on Core is hop on the home page and follow what we've done, then you'll be successful. We're taking the guesswork out of it. We're simplifying it and trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So that hand selection and that manually created offer is something that's completely unique in this industry. Like I said, I don't know any other site out there that does it. Number 3, the other thing that makes us unique is that we're stocking the site full of exclusive offers. So we have a whole list of partners, and we're working on bringing in as many exclusive offers as we can. Some of them are great deals. They're not only great deals, you'll be able to earn hundreds and on some offers even thousands of points. So this aggregation of exclusive offers is something that we're working really hard on, and we'll continue to grow that partner list until we have a robust site full of exclusive earning opportunities. Number 4, and this one makes me really excited and for some reason emotional, but Core belongs to this beautiful ecosystem. Core by itself is great, but when you combine it with Reach, and when you combine it with Kala, it becomes so much more meaningful and so much more powerful. Reach is being iterated right now. We formed a partnership with a really powerful company, and we're working right now to turn Reach into something more robust, into a really great redemption center that you'll be excited to jump into. Now, Kala. As soon as I mention Kala, I get all giddy with excitement like a little kid, because Kala is just something absolutely amazing. Look at me, see? It's powerful and it's game-changing. And the cool thing about it is the fun has just barely begun. The response from within NUI and from the public has been mind-boggling. The growth we've seen in the last 15 days has just taken our breath away. Kala fits beautifully into every single thing that we're doing, and it creates an even more valuable, even more game-changing experience. So this ecosystem that Core lives in is not only unique, but it's just absolutely incredible. Now, I hope most of you have had the chance to take advantage of the Kala BOGO that we ran for about a little over a week. Unfortunately, it ended on Thursday with the close of the ITO. But because we love you and we value you and we're super grateful, we're running a private internal promotion on Kala starting today. What the company is going to do is any purchase over $100 will match. So if you're interested, make sure to take advantage of that. We are sending an email out with all the details. So it'll probably go out in the next 10 minutes, so check your email. Matt, our finance guy, I think is here somewhere. So if you want to jump in right away, make sure to find him, find any of us, and we'll get you set up with some Kala. Again, that's sort of like a BOGO. Any purchase over 100, the company will match. Lastly, the last thing that makes Core absolutely incredible and valuable and unique is it, and this one might be the most amazing, is it is a gateway into the crypto space. Now, if you think of cryptocurrency, there's only a small percentage of the population that actually owns a cryptocurrency. I think the statistic is like 1% or something. And you might ask yourself, like, that's a really small amount of people, even though this is such a big thing and it's all over the news. You might ask yourself why, right? Some might not be educated or might not know much about the crypto space. And so that creates a little bit of hesitation, or some may be a little bit risk averse because it is something maybe a little bit new to them. Some might just not have enough funds, might not have the money to experience the excitement of cryptocurrency. The awesome thing about Core is that it alleviates all of that. Just by doing simple activities every single day, you're earning points. And soon, points will be able to be redeemed for Kala, which then can be used to purchase mining contracts. There's nothing, yeah, it's super exciting. There's nothing like that. That was the most exciting one. Should have started with that. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that exists where you can actually just do simple activities at no risk with just minutes a day to earn points for Kala for mining contracts. It takes, it's the easiest way for you to experience it, and that in and of itself is grand. So Core is unique. It helps bring crypto to the masses. It's a complete aggregation of ways to earn. It's a hand-selected deal offers that are manually written. It's an aggregation of exclusive offers. It belongs in this beautiful ecosystem along with Reach and Kala. And lastly, it's a gateway into the crypto space for everyone. That is powerful. And that's why we love Core. Now, to bring all of this excitement full circle, I had a conversation with Darren about a year ago, and he's probably like, oh great, what did I say? But I'll never forget it. It was a simple conversation, but it had a profound impact on me, to the point where here I am a year later, still thinking about that conversation. I was sitting at my desk, and he was sitting across from me, and he said, Kinsey, what's your magic number? And I know I gave this puzzled look on my face, like, magic number. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, what's your magic number, you know, to retire and to feel like you made it. And I know the look was like, what are you talking about? And within seconds, a million thoughts raced through my head. And I thought, to retire, a magic number? I don't think like that. I'm focused on surviving. I gotta worry about taking care of my kiddos and providing for their future. I gotta think about college and weddings. And I gotta make sure that I put enough aside for a rainy day, and I gotta do this all on my own. Magic number. And I thought for a second, and I went home thinking, and I thought, gosh, can I dream again? Do I dare? Can I really give myself the permission to dream again? It had been 27 years. And so I did. A year ago, I gave myself permission to start dreaming again. Gosh, what's my dream house? And what's my dream vacation? And what do I want for my girls? 1 year ago, I started dreaming. And for that, I am forever grateful. That's what this is all about. Great things happen to those who don't stop believing and don't stop trying and don't stop learning and don't stop being grateful. And maybe we can add and don't stop dreaming to the list. Nui, Core, Reach, Kala, Mintage, all things combined. It's incredible. And it really does provide a pathway to changing lives. Thank you.
Just wanted to give you a high five. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kinsey. Isn't she awesome? Isn't corporate awesome? I feel like this is too close. Well, one thing that I love about Nui, you guys, those of you who have been here probably feel the same way. When they see a good idea, the founders, the corporate people, they jump on it. Is that right? Have you guys been able to see some of that? Well, a couple of weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago maybe, and I'm going to let Nui Connect here tell you the whole story, but a couple of weeks ago, we ran across a really cool idea, and it was, what if people had more access to capital that they could put into Mintage Mining and make money with? Isn't that a cool idea? Who wishes they had more money that they could throw into their business? Okay, more hands, come on. All right, I did too. So we went out and we found, or a solution found us, and they are here today as one of our partners. So I'm going to bring up Nui Connect with Fundwise Capital. He is the CEO and co-founder of Fundwise Capital. Many of you maybe have gone to miningcredit.com, and he's going to tell us about some programs that they put together specifically for us that no one else in the industry is doing. No one else in his industry is doing. So Nui Connect, come on up. You're more welcome.
So are we starting with start with the slides. The slides, okay. So that was the, let's see.
One moment, folks. We just have some technical
Gotta pull up the slides.
stuff to set up here.
Oops, that's not the one. Let's see. Did you email that over?
I did. Share it in there.
Try it again.
Yeah, let's put your email in right there.
Check the emails.
Can't share this.
That was a joke, Leo.
No.
You got that?
Oh. Come on.
Maybe go to your Google Drive.
Is it a drive thing?
It is a drive.
Okay.
There it is.
There we go.
And then just click on present. Right there on present.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, give Jeremy a hand. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you about why funding can create massive growth in your crypto mining business. If you're interested in jumpstarting growing your mining business, taking it to the next level, raise your hand and say, that's me.
That's me.
All right. And if you're interested in growing your Nui organization and learning how funding can kind of grow that organization and help be a recruiting tool to build your organization, raise your hand and say, yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right. You got that plugged in, Corey? Cool. So in 2017, Fundwise ownership, my team, and actually a lot of my employees got involved with cryptocurrencies. We had a lot of fun with it. And as we went through the process, it was just amazing the opportunities that we found in the cryptocurrency market. However, as we did more research, it soon became clear that kind of mining and crypto mining was going to be a safer, smarter alternative to just speculating in cryptocurrencies. If you know what I'm talking about, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Right? It's smarter. It's almost like when they were digging for gold back in San Francisco in the 1800s, and people were just giving them the shovels and everything. That's kind of what we're doing, right? We're just mining and building that business up. And so as we did our research, we wanted to find, well, what's a good crypto mining company to work with, and what are the important factors to look at? And so we looked at Mintage Mining, and it soon became clear that they had the research and they had a system that makes money for the average person, and we were excited about that. And so we started to get involved with Mintage, with that opportunity. And the more we dug into it, the more it became clear that they had not only built something, but they were on the forefront of compliance. Now, right now in the cryptocurrency and the mining space, we don't have a lot of regulation and compliance out there. And the more we learned about Mintage, the more impressed we became that they had already taken those steps to get into compliance, to follow the rules. And so what they had done is they had actually gotten in touch with Mark Rasmussen, who's one of the leading attorneys when it comes to the crypto mining space in terms of making sure everything is done the right way. Boy, and in today's world, that's so important. So we were very impressed with that. And as we went along, maybe just hit the.
There we go.
There we go. So as that progressed, it soon became clear that Mintage and our company, Fundwise Capital, could form a strategic partnership and alliance and really help a lot of people. Because as people are looking to grow their crypto mining business, at some point, what's the number one thing that limits that business? Money, right? It's lack of access to funding, financing, and capital. And so then we started thinking, well, that's what we do, right? We love getting people money and helping them get that financing as affordable as possible to grow and build their business. And so then we started to get excited about that potential. Now, a little background on me. I've been in the finance market for about 15 years, everything from multi-million-dollar commercial real estate to small funding for new startup businesses. And a couple of years ago, I was looking on Amazon. I'm like, what are the books that are out there about funding a business, and how do you do that? And as I was going through that, I realized there wasn't a lot out there. So I took that 15 years, and in about 2 weeks over the Christmas holiday, I wrote the business funding formula. I didn't write the book really to make money. I wrote it to give out to my clients so that they had the knowledge, the information, and kind of a system that they could follow to grow their business and secure the money that they need. So my team and I at Fundwise is actually an older picture. We've doubled in size since that picture. We've funded over $250 million in businesses. And the part that is really most exciting about that is what it led to, right? So we went through, we built this company up, we get clients the best money possible. And a few weeks ago, Mintage wanted to do a test. We wanted to see, so how much money and approvals can we get for clients? And so, we did just a very small test with Mintage Mining with Nui, and 70 clients were sent over and approved for funding at about $50,000 each. And the test added up to about $3.5 million in funding approvals for Mintage Mining clients. Now, is that a pretty good test? Not bad, not bad. Now it's time to unleash, right? The day is going to be the day when we unleash and open this up to the entire Nui and Mintage Mining organization and give everybody the opportunity to grow their business and to secure the very best funding possible. Now, for a lot of people, funding and numbers and finance is kind of confusing. It isn't really that interesting, but what it is it's a bridge to get the business that you want. It's a bridge to build the life that you want. So I want to share quickly just a quick video about the transformation that one of our clients had after she received funding.
Lines of credit and Leo with Fundwise Capital popped up. And I called him and he called me immediately right back. And I was a little scared about it because he said he could get me the funding right away. He got me $70,000, 0% interest for 15 months. And he told me, if you work this right, at the end of 15 months, or a little after you're open, your business will be paid off with 0% interest. And we did not know how much it took to start a business. I remember Googling lines of credit and Leo with Fundwise Capital popped up. And I called him and he called me immediately right back. And I was a little scared about it because he said he could get me the funding right away. He got me $70,000, 0% interest for 15 months. And he told me, if you work this right, at the end of 15 months, or a little after a year that you're open, your business will be paid off with 0% interest. And we'll be open a year in November. November 1st, my business will be completely paid off. I definitely recommend Fundwise Capital. Thanks to Fundwise Capital, I was able to get my money really, really quick.
All right, now how many of you would like to see that kind of transformation in your business? Raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Right? And so it's important to know not only that transformation, but like we're a product of our product at Fundwise Capital. When we started a few years ago, we started out, Corey right there helped us secure about $60,000 in financing going through our own program. So from that little $60,000 in funding, we were working at the time at my kitchen table with, at the time, my 4 kids running around and we're talking, guys, be quiet, we're on the phone, we're on the phone. And from that kitchen table, last year we did $5 million in funding. We just moved into this new 15,000 square foot office. We have 60 employees. And that doesn't happen without the funding. Like, it wouldn't have happened. And so that's the magic. That's the power of having access to capital. Big companies like Google and Under Armour started out by just having some small credit cards and lines of credit, and you can see what the results are. So you don't need a lot of money, but once you have it, you know, now you've got an opportunity to create something special. Now, I showed that a little premature, that next slide, but how many of you would like to see a top secret formula that tells you about when funding is a good idea for you to take it? Raise your hand. Okay, so this is a formula that I put together that we build at Fundwise, and it tells you when it makes sense to take out financing, because for a lot of us, we think about debt, and debt personally, it doesn't make sense, right? You go on a vacation, retail store, credit card, that doesn't make you money. But as we've seen, business funding makes you money, and so it makes sense, right? And so this is the formula that really tells you when it's right and makes sense to take money. Now, how many of us have heard of return on investment, ROI? A lot of us. So ROI is very similar. It's a return on loan or lines of credit, and I put together a little rhyme that makes sense, right? It's the measurement of how much money you can make from the funding that you take. My AP English professor is really happy with me right now. So let me say that again. It's the measurement of how much money you can make from the funding that you take. And so that's when it makes sense, right? When you can make money from the funding and the financing. So here's an example. Here's a real life example. Let's say you get $50,000 in a loan at 12% interest. Now, granted, most of the financing we get for our clients is at 0% interest for the first year, so it's very affordable. But in this example, let's say you took out $50,000 at 12% interest, and you know your business, right? You know with your mining contracts and the return that you can make that you're going to project $100,000 in new income over the next 12 months. Well, let's do the math. Did we win? So $100,000 in new income, we pay the whole loan back in a year, minus $6,000 in interest, which is 12% interest, equals $44,000 of new return on loan money. So did we win? We did, right? And what's amazing is that money, that $44,000 that we netted, would we have made it without the funding? Never happens, right? So it was the bridge that got us where we wanted to go. And so the simple rule is this. As long as you can make 50% or more on your funding over a 12-month period, then as my old business partner used to say, it makes sense to take that money out all day long, twice on Sundays. I'm not sure where he got that, but I love that quote. So again, the important part here is I just love how it changes people's lives, how it allows you to live your dreams. It's a bridge to get the life that you want. One of our recent clients, Stacy, and if you look at Fundwise Capital Online, we have a lot of reviews from clients. He and his wife went through the funding process. They got quite a bit of money, over $100,000 between both he and his wife. But what was most important, he called me 6 months later, and he liked his job, but he was looking to quit it and do his business full time. He was able to quit his job and run his business, control his time, again, live the life that he wanted. And again, that's what makes me excited. Who would like to be our next success story? Raise your hand. All right. So let me ask you a question. I've shared a lot of things, right? A lot of information. You probably feel like this little girl where the fire hose is on and it's just blowing you up and you're like, wow, that's good stuff, I think, right? So with all the time that I've spent building funding and financing, is it okay if I spend just a couple minutes and share an offer of how you can take advantage of funding right now? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So here's how it works, basically. Take out your phone. Everybody, take out your phone, because there's a lot of power in that phone, right? A phone nowadays can do about 300 times more what the most powerful computer could do 30 years ago. Go to miningcredit.com and find out right now today how much funding and financing that you can qualify for. Now today and for the next few days, we're giving out a free gift to everybody actually that applies for financing at miningcredit.com. So again, you just pull up your internet browser, go to www.miningcredit.com. There's no impact on your credit, so your credit is protected. It's free to get pre-approved, and we're actually going to give out our lender prep portal. Now this is actually a product that we sell online for $1,000. It gives you a business plan template. It shows you how to build your business plan and your organization. It tells you how to be in compliance with lenders, how SBA loans work, and really just put your business in a position to succeed. So this is what it looks like, right? So you're at miningcredit.com. You're just going to select the amount of money you're looking for, estimate on your credit score. Doesn't have to be exact. We know it's an estimate. And then just your first name, your last name, your email, phone number. And then on that next page, after you fill out that basic information at miningcredit.com, then we're going to get a snapshot of your credit profile. And this is where we partnered up with a great company, SeerScore, in which we can get a snapshot of your credit without it being a hard pull and hurting your credit. So it's a soft pull, no adverse effect. And then SeerScore charges just $1 to get that snapshot of your credit profile. Once we have that snapshot of your credit profile, then we will actually underwrite you today. And I've got underwriters standing by in our office looking at your file, and they'll actually have a pre-approval for you at the end of this event. We'll be in the back of the room, and we'll be able to tell you exactly how much funding you qualified for, and then get you started on securing that money next week. So that's the process. Again, it's a very simple process. And really at this point, you've got two options, right? You can take action and go for it, or you can do nothing, right? Now, nothing is risk-free, but it also means you won't take the next step, right? You won't progress. So again, simply you're just going to go to miningcredit.com right now, find out exactly how much you can qualify for. Now, if you're worried, oh, I don't know if my credit's good enough to qualify, well, don't, right? Just apply. We actually have credit restoration programs in which we will help you rebuild or fix any credit issues. And for a lot of our clients, sometimes they'll come in and they'll bring in a partner, right? You know what? I need the funding, the financing. I'm not going to qualify, but I've got my family member, my friend who does have the credit. So many multi-million-dollar businesses have been started like that in a partnership. And so maybe that's something that you look at. There's always an option. There's always a solution. Tony Robbins says you can always find the money. When he says that, he's talking about FundWise. So again, no impact on your credit, free to get pre-approved, receive the lender prep portal free just for applying. Guys, it's been an honor to be here today. We're excited to be a partner here with Nui and Mintage Mining for a long time. We'll be in the back of the room after the event to answer any questions. God bless. Have a great day.
Thank you, real quick. I'm the one that gets the honor to announce our CEO. I want to tell you about how this came about. Some of Leo's staff showed up. In fact, they're back here in our conference room. And they said, we got funding for mining units. I said, no, you don't. They said, no, we do. And then they started to explain to me flat out that they're already in. Got my attention. This group is dedicated in your success, not getting you into debt. In fact, they're putting together with Nui and Mintage Mining a step-by-step game plan. So when you fill out the credit app, boom, you're going to get a one-on-one coach that's going to walk through a game plan with the mining you're going to buy so that you can absolutely be assured that you're going to make as much money as you possibly can with Mintage Mining and be able to pay off that loan. And we're excited about that part. With that, I'm going to introduce a gentleman I've absolutely, he's a mentor of mine actually. Darren and Troy and I have been in business quite some time. The first time I ever met him, he thought we were crazy. Dude, you two are drinking your own flipping Kool-Aid. I think that's the first thing he actually said directly to me. And then he started to drink it. He was instrumental in getting 70,000 homes completely debt-free. He is instrumental in putting together this entire program that has Mintage and Symatri. And when Troy asked him, be the CEO. Nope. It wasn't even a pause. And we all both actually almost begged him. And he said, all right, I'll do it. You got to give me some time with my family. They're young. And we said, you'll be able to figure it out. And he's done a fairly good job of that. But he's dedicated in the success of all of you. Guys, what you hear from the front of the room, I should say Nui Nation, because guys and gals. What you hear from the front of the room, especially from Darren, Troy, and Richard, and Kenzie, and all the rest of us, you're going to hear a more pure form of it in the back of the room. And I can assure you, because I've ran in circles, most direct sales companies, that's not the case. With that, I'm going to turn the time over and pay special attention and take some notes to Darren O'Ryan, our CEO of Nui Social.
All right, good morning, good morning. Everyone stand up really quick, okay? I got problems. I got ADD. I can't sit still. I lasted, go ahead, you guys sit back down now. I just want to loosen up, move your neck around. You just got to do that because I literally lasted maybe 10 minutes, okay? And then I just had to walk around. That's just how I am. You're going to hear from me a bunch today. And I've been dying for this day. Yeah, go ahead, put it wherever you want right there. Sounds good.
It's got to go for this.
Anyways, the life of Nui, okay? The life of Nui has been interesting. There's 2 dates that stick in my mind right now. Well, there's actually 3. September 1st, where's Troy and Richard? Troy's over there. Where'd Richard go? There he is. Troy and Richard, for the entire summer of 2016, we debated on whether we were going to buy the company or not. Back and forth, back and forth. And if my wife were here, one of my sons is here, she would tell you, no way, no how did she ever want me to become CEO. But we decided to buy the company September 1st, and that's a significant date to me. October 16th is a significant date to Jeremy, right? And Juan, and John, and Ken, and there are a couple of us. October 16th, Jeremy, how many people do we have? Maybe like 10 of us or less? Yeah. Significant date, October 16th, there were less than 10 of us. I want you to understand here. Gina went and counted out how many people are here, how many?
Just over 110.
110, and there's still people coming in a little bit. When we had our launch October 16th, there were less than 10 of us. My third date I remember is January 7th because it all hit the fan by then. We had a goal to bring in 2,000 members, 2,000 affiliates. It was all sweet. We came up with this great idea, free activities, make some money, share it with other people, and it's going to be awesome. January 7th, we had to shut it down because we had 243,000 affiliates that broke our back office, took our inventory, broke all our third-party partners, everything. Everything you can think of went wrong. But we proved the concept. That concept that Kinsey was talking about, that was the idea and the beginning of CORE. So that's kind of 3 significant dates, and today's March 17th, another major date for me personally, because it's taken us 18 months to figure out who NUI is. Now, I'm not even going to share that with you yet. I'm going to share with you right now something a little bit different, because you guys have always heard me on videos, on webinars, on conference calls, in person. I've always focused 100% on the million people. What, Doug? Making $500. That's all you've ever heard come out of my mouth. John Johnson, is that not true? Bums you out, huh? Bums you out. David, does it bum you out? $500 a month? Okay, 10,000, all right. I know it's not exciting for leaders when they hear, hey, they want to make $500 and help a million people do that. Courtney, why the freak? Why do you keep saying that? It's because we learned a lesson. We learned a lesson that if you can help someone make $500 to $1,000 a month, they never, ever leave. You guys have no idea how many emails and calls I get from people from our previous companies that we tried this with saying, can you do it again? Well, as of March 17th, I'm going to say yes, we absolutely can. But this conversation is not for that. It is not for $500. It is not for $1,000. It is not for, man, Marissa, dude, you're a hardcore core user. Nice to see you. I just saw you. Hardcore core user. If you guys want to know core, talk to her. Okay, she's all over it. This conversation is how to make $10,000 in the next 90 days. That's what this conversation is, 100%. If we're going to help a million people, we need the leaders now to start making some dinero, some money, some cash, some crypto. They need to start getting that stability for themselves, and then they can start to spread it. Now, what I'm about to share with you, let's see, how do I say this? I'm a CEO, so, right, Brody? I got to be very careful what I say. Right, Clay? I got to be careful. We'll talk about Mintage and all the compliance and Jones Day and all that fun stuff in a second. But what I'm going to share with you is something that I live and die by, and that is I'm not asking anyone to do anything that I have not done. All right? I'm not even going to show you or tell you something that I have not tried myself. Where's Reed at? Okay, he's not here. Yes! Great, I know our attorney's already out of town. I have 16 videos that I have shot. They're not released because they haven't been approved legally yet. But I have never known or met a CEO, a president, a vice president, an executive of a company that has used their own system or product to pay their bills. Have you, Dave?
Nope.
George? Does anyone, I won't call any names out, does anyone know any CEO of an MLM that has said, hey, toss my paycheck aside, if I'm asking you to do it, shouldn't I? Have you guys ever asked yourselves that? No, seriously, raise your hand if you've ever asked yourselves that. Am I the only one that thinks this? Oh, Leo, you're the only one? Okay. I've worked with so many network marketing owners and CEOs and executives, and I was always the guy consulting. I've helped 6 companies. I took them international. I worked in Central America. I worked in Asia, worked in Africa. I've done all kinds of things as a consulting. Then I've done stuff from, Jeremy knows, we built a big company together with Richard and Troy and a few others. We did, and John, and I'm trying to look around who was there with us 7 years ago. We put 1.2 million people into a company. I lived and died and had to live the same way. Me and Jeremy had to do the same thing. We had to get paid the same way. We had to share the same compound. We had to share the same products and services and everything. Right?
Absolutely.
It's frustrating to me to listen to executives of network marketing companies that say, just go do this. Go get 3, they get 3, and then this. Okay, we've all heard it. What I share with you right now, I've done it. How many times have I done it? I've done it twice now. And this is the legal part. I don't know if CEOs can actually go do this, go use their own product and service to build a check. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I did it. I did it because I wanted to see if this thing actually worked. Now, what Leo was sharing with you guys is something very, very interesting. I have spent 17, 18 years working in startup businesses. How many of you guys have ever owned a startup business yourself? Owned your own business? High. I want to see them really high. Okay. Keep your hands up. How many have you owned more than 2? Keep your hands up. Okay? I don't know if you guys just saw something, but at least half the hands fell down. Keep your hands up. How many have you ever owned more than 3? Okay? 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 24. This is my 24th business I've owned from the start. Out of law school and business school, this is my 24th. The only reason why I know that is because I just did a couple years ago, I did a solar company, and we raised money, and that was my 23rd because they were going through all the bios. I've owned 24 businesses. What Leo just shared with you is the #1 hardest thing to a startup business. Right or no? Raising capital for a startup business. That is the most difficult thing that entrepreneurs don't understand. And we just kind of snuck it out. We haven't even told you what it's about. We just put it on the site, right? Kenzie's been like creating with a whole marketing team all this content and explanation. And Leo's coming up with a bunch of stuff. There's going to be a lot of information about this that you guys are going to get over the next week, 2, 3 weeks and on. They do webinars, they do training. That was kind of a secret. And it's essential to understand that financing is the key to startups. And it's not ROI, it's ROL, all right? That is the secret. I read his book. He wrote a book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have talked to this guy 15 years ago. It would have saved me a bunch of headache. Anyways, he dropped nuggets that I don't know if you guys got. I hope and pray you did. But if you didn't, we're going to give you a lot more information about it forthcoming. Okay, what I'm going to show you right now, and then you got to keep me on time because I don't even keep track of time. So what are we at? 10K one day. That's what we are. All right, what I'm going to share with you guys is something I have done. And it's kind of really interesting. It's kind of fun on how this thing works out. I already talked about the million people making $500. Oh, now I know where I'm at. Tim, how hard is it for you to give a free product away? How hard is it? Not hard? John Johnson, how hard is it for you? Free product away? Yeah. No? Kent, if I asked you to give away 100 free products, how hard would it be for you? Easy? I'm going to ask Shannon, put you on the spot. If I asked you, how quick could you give away 100 free things? A day. Okay, I've been asking everyone this question now for about a month and a half. If you guys saw what happened on Mintage Mining, we're giving away free accounts as of last Tuesday. What's today? Today's Saturday, so it's a week and a half. Okay. We have free memberships in Mintage Mining. And the question is, how hard is it to give 100 away? Now, here's the cool part. These are real numbers, all right? Now, this, I'm going to be very careful. We only have a week and a half statistics, all right? So, in my mind, that's not enough for anything. So, right now, we have like 4 out of 10 upgrading to become, what's it called, an elite, right? A NUI member. But let's just go with 1 out of 10, all right? Because that's too high for me still. I'm kind of like scratching my head going, how in the world are so many people upgrading into NUI? So if you were to give 100 people away, free memberships, is this on camera, Jeremy? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. 100 free Mintage Mining. Oh, shout out to the couple thousand people online. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is streaming in like 3 different other streams. It's in Spanish right now, and there's at least one group of 500. There's another group of 500, and I don't know where else they're broadcasting. But anyways, 100 free Mintage Mining memberships. 1 out of 10 are becoming, holy cow. Okay, I'm definitely going to break this. All right, 1 out of 10 are becoming NUI elites. Those are statistics that are actually working. It's actually higher, like I said, but I just don't trust it. It's only a week and a half. Now, this is something that we do know out of 6, 7, 8 weeks of testing. Once they become a Mintage Mining free member, we give them the benefit to see if they qualify with their friends back there, miningcredit.com. 4 out of 10 are close to getting their funding. 1 out of 10 is cashing in. What did he say the average loan amount is, Tim? Bart said 50K, he's right. 50K. That's the average amount. 0% interest, 9 to 15 months, unsecured loan. And there's a whole bunch of different other ways to get financing that they consult you on. And we're massaging that, by the way. This is beta test, just so you know. For those of you that are experiencing interesting challenges or whatever, we're still trying to figure this out. We are the first company ever to offer financing for mining. First ones, ever. Okay? Go ahead. Just so you know, I'll share a little bit more later. I believe it will be $1 billion business on the financing part alone. Okay, 1 out of 10 financing. Bart, we got some good numbers here, right?
Yep.
If 10 go and do this and I get 100, I just got 10 people. Equals 500K in mining units. What's the commission on Mintage Mining?
10%.
10% times 10% equals 50,000 mining units. If you are getting a result of 2% a week, that's $1,000 a week. If it's a little bit more than 2%, $1,500, $1,200. If it's higher, then great. You're making $4,000 to $5,000 a month by passing out 100 free Mintage Mining memberships. Now here's the cool part. This is the part we're massaging right now. A lot of people are getting qualified. They're not signing the dotted line because they don't understand ROL. That's why I'm jacked out of my mind. Because here we are right here. We have a lot of people that we know personally. And they trust you, Doug. Dave's sitting right here because you've thrown in a very crazy idea, right?
Yeah, everyone he's giving me.
Everyone is giving you, but you trust him. That's why you did it. Your brothers.
It's my brother.
Yeah. So, if we can up this, that 4 to 5 a month is ridiculous. And that 4 to 5, for how many years, Sal, is that?
3 years.
3 years. 4 to 5 by passing out 100. Oh, wait a second. We forgot about this part. 1 out of 10 Nui elites. That's right. I just got 10 new direct in the pen, 10 in the pen. Oh my goodness, what happens if 5 of them copy and duplicate and do what you just did? That's another $5K a month. You're making $10,000 a month for the next 3 years by doing what? Giving away free memberships. Let's go ahead and move that. I did not have the luxury of trying to pass out free memberships. I had to convince a few people to go ahead and just become Nui affiliates and try this thing out. And that's how that worked. I have done it. I've done it twice. One time I did an experiment. Nahinu. Nahinu is one of my buddies right here. Have we ever done business together in our entire lives? Have you ever been in MLM? No. Okay, there you go. Nahinu shows up. I sent him a text and said, "Hey, bro, if you have a few minutes, come by." Nahinu was one of the 4 or 5 people I introduced this to that I've never talked to about business or done business with or done MLM or done anything with, and I was able to generate that from a group of just 4 people. All right? We've made this so easy that it's passing out free. Now, because of the relationships, I'm kind of excited to learn more and get more education. And when Richard was hinting about the training on the financing piece, we believe you need to be a lot more educated on how to use the financing wisely. Once you understand how to use financing in a wiser way, does that make sense? A wiser way? If you know how to do it better, you'll be able to maximize and have a lot more success and do better for your friends, family, and everyone you bring in this business. So that's we have pass outs, handouts on that. What I am going to do right now is turn the time over. Is Reed around? Hey, Amy, did Dave show up yet? Okay, if I can get Reed to come up, I want to introduce Reed Tanaka. And wherever, someone find him, please. Hey, Rod, is Reed around? Okay, thanks, Wendy. Someone can find him. I know he's in the building. I want to introduce Reed just for a second so you guys understand. It's taken me 20 years to recruit this guy to come work with me. He owned a business with a couple of my other friends. They had tremendous success. They helped over 30 network marketing companies go into Asia from A to Z. The reason why they went to them is because they knew the culture, they knew the localization. Everyone always talks about going international, but it's a whole different deal when you're on the ground trying to figure it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is Mexico the same as Colombia?
No.
And Brazil? It's not even close. Well, the reason why I've been trying to get Reed forever to come work with us is because he has the expertise. Then he was recruited by another company called LifeVantage. And from day one, from the very beginning, helped build that up. And he has been ops and execution for his entire career. He's had success 3 different times that I know of in businesses that he owned. He was freaking in Hawaii for 4 months or 7 months. 4 months. And then Japan. He took some time off playing with his family. And I don't know how he said yes, but he did say yes. And he fell in love, I believe. I'll let him tell the story. But I believe it was because this idea of really doing it differently to help the little guy, the little gal, make that $500 a month. With that, Reed.
Thanks, Darren. And as Darren said, my name is Reed. I'm really excited to be here this morning. I'm excited to meet, to mingle, to rub shoulders with all of you. I actually wasn't here for most of the time he was introducing me, so I don't know what he said. But I'm the president of NUI, and most of my responsibilities here at the corporate office are strategic, operational, functional, and process-driven in nature. And so because of that, I don't have the opportunity to interact with all of you as much as I'd like. So days like this is very exciting, very fun for me. And I'm happy to be here with you. I joined the NUI team late last year. And as Darren said, I was in a little bit of state of limbo. I was enjoying life and kind of de-stressing and calming myself down after a huge run of another business. But when they introduced me to the concept, I came in and I was very grateful to Darren, to Troy, and to Richard for the opportunity that they gave to me to understand what NUI was all about. And so when we first started talking, I was a little hesitant. I was very hesitant, and they know me well now. I'm very black and white. I am very strategic. I'm very process-driven. I'm very analytical. And I came in here and I said, I don't know what the heck is going on. And so as I dove into it, they were going nuts because it took me 2 or 3 months to actually come to a decision to join the team. But during that time, we collaborated, we collectively talked, we strategized, and it was in those moments I saw how electrifying these men are, Troy, Darren, and Richard, how they are visionaries. And as they laid out that plan, they laid out that the strategies and the vision of the company, that's when in my mind, the light bulb went off. That's when my brain started going 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's when the heartstrings started being pulled. That's when the enthusiasm and the confidence just shot up through the roof. And I said, I want to be a part of this. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably most of us in this room are here for that reason. I'm really, really excited Again, I'm really black and white. I'm the operations guy. I'm making sure that people like Darren, Troy, and Richard, as well as all of you in this room, can run without hesitating, can run with just being excited and not have to worry about things. That's my responsibility as president of this company. And I'm really excited about the opportunities that lay ahead of us. As I did my due diligence on the marketing and advertising realm, as I did my due diligence on competitors in the MLM realm, as I did my due diligence in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain realm, I understood at that moment that this is a great opportunity. Standing side by side with you in the near future, as well as the long-term future, is going to be very exciting for me. I look forward to building the culture, as well as this great opportunity that lies ahead of us with all of you. I wasn't expected to be up here and talking, but I'd love in the future to get to know more of you. Please feel free to reach out to me or any of the team members here. I look forward to making sure that we are successful together. I just wanted to make an announcement before we go on. Our team is here standing by to help you. One of the things that we have is also a place on the other side where we are holding testimonials. If you want to share your story, share the reason why you're here, we're here set up on the other side and taking people's experiences on camera. But I just want to make sure that I represent and I can instill in you the confidence as you go forward that you have a great company, you have a great team that is behind you. Thank you for this opportunity to meet you today and look forward to working with you in the future.
All right, my friends. This is, we got two more topics we're going to talk about. And I just wanted to make a quick introduction to my buddy Dave Childs here, a good friend of mine, owner of Mintage Mining. We have done. When you do business, one of the most important things that I would ever advise anyone when you're doing startups or anything is when you find a partner that you can trust in the trenches during the bad times, those are the ones you keep for life. Everyone's your friend during good times. I mean, everyone's your partner. Everyone wants to sign contracts with you. Everyone wants to do everything. But it's the tough times that you really find out true colors and who's who. Dave and I have been working together in the trenches, good, bad, everything in between, for over 8 years. We were actually in the middle of having Nui purchase Mintage Mining. Our Jones Day attorneys said, heck, no, stop, no way, no how. You can't have ownership, you can't own, you can't have equity. It's got to be a third-party transaction. And I can go into detail on that too. But we've set it up exactly how we've been advised by the law firm and attorneys that Leo shared on the screen, the same attorneys that the SEC has hired to advise them on counsel in this crypto world. Same attorneys, same law firm, same partners. And we set it up this way specifically. And Dave Childs just came back from vacation. I begged him to come in here. I asked him to just do one thing, and that was really just to share his purpose, his passion about why blockchain. So, thank you.
Well, I'm not a public speaker most of the time. I don't really like getting up in front of people, but you know, I'm here. So
he's here.
Yeah, I just want to go back and say with what Darren was saying is, you know, when you find somebody that's better at what they do than what you are at what you do, that's the partners you want to keep. And that's how I felt about Darren for a long time. That's why I partnered with him. Is I feel like he is the public speaker. He's the one that's able to get up here and motivate everybody. And I know how to get stuff done on the back end. But yeah, blockchain is a pretty interesting revolution that's happening right now. I think a lot of times you see things after they happen, And right now we have a unique opportunity, which is we're seeing a change in the way the world works, which is what blockchain is designed to do. One of the key important parts of it, which I really think is pretty cool, is it's designed to remove that third party, trusted third party. So the most important one that everybody sees right now is cryptocurrencies, right? They're Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these different cryptocurrencies. And what they're designed to do is to get rid of us requiring a bank in order to validate that a transaction actually happened. But that's one small use case of blockchain. So that's just one avenue that we're looking at. What we want to focus on is the entire landscape of blockchain, which is all transactions that require a trusted third party. And there's a whole bunch of examples right now. Legal contracts, they're going on Ethereum blockchain. There's a whole avenue that are out there. And I think what's really pretty interesting and what we've tried to focus on Mintage side, which is providing the infrastructure for all different blockchain projects. So what that means is we actually provide the servers, the architecture that runs the network. So instead of having a bank or a big institution run all of these servers across the world to provide the foundation for the network, what we want to do as individuals and as a group is actually provide that same infrastructure. And so what the results are how we get contributions or we get paid for is by providing that actual infrastructure. So for me, I really, I think that blockchain is pretty revolutionary. I mean, I wasn't planning any kind of speech or anything, but it really is, in my opinion, one of the greatest revolutions that we will see in our lifetime. I think before my time, when in the .com bubble that happened, the .com era, is you had all of the people that got connected to the internet. And then with right now, what happened was we had mobile, which was wireless, that went out and everybody in the world now got connected. And so what happened is you have all of these people that are now unbanked or they don't have access to the large infrastructure that is available here. And blockchain has come to provide the solution for those people. So I think we're going to see over the next 10, 15 years where blockchain really is going to head. And I think right now is really the opportunity because we're on the forefront of changing that industry, which is providing the infrastructure. Darren likes to call it the rails, and I say it's betting on the racetrack and not on the racehorse. Is we're saying, okay, we don't know all of the possible solutions that are out there, but we want to provide the infrastructure for all of those different projects that are coming. So I don't really have anything else to say.
That's good, bro. Dave, thank you very much. 8 years I've been working with him, maybe 9. And I have a, Dave, have you ever heard me say this? I have a rule. Never, have you ever heard me say this? I don't know if you've ever heard this. I tell everyone they can't have more than 3 people talking to you at the same time. Have you heard me say that? Okay, good. That's my rule. Less than 3 people, because Dave doesn't like more than, he's not comfortable in that environment. So it's just how it is. Mintage mining, guys, I'm going to bust through a couple of things for you. Jones Day, you guys can Google them. We went with them, been working with them for over 7, 8 years, 7, 8 months. Whew. Years, man, can you imagine the bill on that? 7 or 8 months we've been working with them for one major reason. Mark Rasmussen is the lead attorney in crypto, pushing the most legislation that everyone's leaning on. Everyone being FTC, SEC, all the initials. They're trying to figure out this space called cryptocurrency. No one knows exactly. Japan's kind of leading it in legislation. We went with Jones Day because they're, according to them, they're the #1 law firm in the U.S., but they are a top 10 in the world. We've been on conference calls, many of them with the Japanese office, the guys in Russia, the guys here in the U.S. We've been in the U.K. We've been on so many conference calls. I have a law school business background. I am not a fan of the legal industry because for some reason we have to pay by the every 10 minutes. So it gets really pricey. We specifically did that on purpose. We wanted to be around for the rest of the existence of crypto, blockchain. That's what we wanted to do. If we're going to be here, we have to do things different from the other companies, our competition. None of our competition that I know have spent as much time trying to get compliant with something you can't get compliant in as us. All right? I could not talk publicly, not even internally. Mark Rasmussen made me and Greg promise him we would not talk about the relationship with the SEC and Jones Day until it became public. We knew it for 2 months prior. You guys can Google it now. It puts us in a beautiful position. And if anyone or any CEO says, hey, we're SEC compliant, it can't be. It's not there yet. But we can say the law firm that works and represents us is the same one the SEC hired. That's public information now. And that's why I feel comfortable for the first time in 8 months about how hard we're going into this world of cryptocurrencies. Now, there's anyone that's supposed to tell me what to talk about? Am I supposed to talk about the 3-year read? Okay. Let's go through the phases then. Let me see here. Just excuse me for 1 second. You know what? I'm going to go story time. Story time is more fun. Sorry, Reed. We're going to go story time. In 1995, I was a college student. I was in a group called Lamanite Generation. We did Polynesian, Native American, and Latin American dance, and we flew all over the world to do shows, and it was cool. I was single, in college, having a good time. I played for BYU rugby also. So I was laughing because I get flown all over the place to go either do Polynesian dance or to go play rugby. What couldn't be better than that? So life was good, and I was getting paid to go to college. It was awesome. But I was knocking doors because a buddy of mine, a roommate, called me up and said, hey, we can go knock doors and make a bunch of money. Does anyone remember Dish Network? Okay, good. All right, I'm talking about a little bit older demographic. I was talking internally and no one even knew this. Dish Network, the big giant satellite dishes. Okay, and then they came down to that 18-inch dish. And my buddy hooked up a deal with a major broker on the small dishes. It cost between $3,500 and $5,000. Did anyone get one, by the way? Anyone? Okay, no one got one? Well, we sold them. And the reason why we sold them is because if you got the financing in place for that, you can now get 100 channels for only $49. So we would go to places like Ridgecrest, California, where they were paying $110 a month for 15 channels. And we'd go knock doors and say, holy cow, you can have 100 channels for $50. Do you want to do it? All day long they signed. And they were happy. It was a win-win. We gave them the financing. They owned the dish. Everything was cool. And they were happy because we cut their bill in half. Now, that was fun. Bart, how much do you think they paid us to every deal we closed? Just guess.
10%.
10%. So that'd be $3,500, $3,350, or $5,000, $500. We got paid $1,500 every time. So I didn't care. Does anyone know where Ridgecrest is? I know George does. Ridgecrest, California? You proud to know that place? Yeah, okay. In the summer, it's 120 degrees. It sucks. It's hot. You're sweating. Oh my goodness. We didn't care. I knocked as many doors as I possibly could. My best day, I did 27 sales in one day because I got financing approved in 15 minutes. And if they didn't, they knew someone that could. Financing. Lesson. The lesson I learned. Oh, my gosh, I forgot. So being single, immature in business, we were making a bunch of money. We were idiots. We'd spend it on stuff, go on vacation, do all these things. I'd go work 2 hours, have all the money I needed for the next 3 weeks, waste it, burn it, do it again, do it again, do it again. I did that for 2 summers. And I remember the second summer, Walmart did something. They said, hey, instead of $3,500 or $5,000, you can buy a dish for $599. We were done. Not only that, a month later, they rolled it out at $199. 3 months later, it was $99. And then within 6 months, it was a free dish. And then they just said, hey, just pay us the monthly. and they figured out how to put the financing into the monthly and covered it. I was toasted, and I was just so naive and young in business. I was like, I always made money, just knock doors. I'll just do that. Well, my friends, a lesson, really, really important lesson. Number one, financing was key. Financing was key. Number two, when the big boys play, you better be ready. We got toasted before I even knew it slapped me. We were out of business, just like that. And we were the #1 door knocking group out of Southern Cal. All I had to do was call my friend up and say, you want to make $1,500 a day? Yeah. Knock doors. That's it. Fill out the app. Done. Kind of similar, you know, Corey? Second story. After that, I was trying to be a more mature, trying to be a smarter guy. Went out and started this company. It was called LMC, Legal Marketing Consultants. A couple of buddies of mine said, hey, this whole internet thing's interesting. We were already working with a bunch of attorneys. We had 300 law firms across the US that we convinced to pay us $150, $200 a month. For what? For free leads. That's what we said. Hey, we're just going to pass you leads. People that might have a legal case. Check this out. Try this out. So we went and created a website. The website was called doineedanattorney.com. And I went and grabbed a couple of mathematicians to break algorithms. And for 3 algorithms, meaning Google, AOL, Earthlink, you guys remember Earthlink? All these other ones that all died. Okay? I had these geniuses that went and figured out how to go get us at the top of every single search. Anything legal, I owned it. Owned it. You come to my site and say, oh man, see if I have to fill this out. And I'd fill out, oh, I got this problem, and then I'd have so much information that I would hand off to the attorneys. Well, it became frustrating. I don't like working with law firms and trying to explain to them how awesome the internet is. This is when the internet started, and these guys are not early adopters. And so I was scratching my head going, man, this is not, the business model is not really working. And then one day, this guy named Dave Hall from a company called Prepaid Legal. Does anyone know that name? All right. You know Dave. Yeah. I was a young punk college kid when I met him. Didn't know anything about network marketing. But he was like, oh, what the heck? For legal, people that want legal help? That's what he said. I remember, like, he sat there and he's like, can I pay you $3, $5 a lead? Because I had 50 different data points they had to fill out in the entire legal problem before they knew it. So I knew everything about the person. This is when the internet just started. Dave goes, hey, I'll pay you $3, $5 a pop. I was kicking out 500 to 5,000 a day. Dave Hall doesn't tell you the story, but he bought the leads from me. And we started making bank every single day. I didn't know anything about network marketing. I wish he would have taught me then. Because I had the leads, I had the source, I had everyone that had legal problems. And for $39 a month, you could get all your legal questions answered, right? That's the pitch. Anyways, my point in even mentioning that is we started making a whole bunch of money. Partners got real greedy really fast when you start making $50K a day and you're all college punks, okay? That's how it is. And it got real greedy. And I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm out. Peace out. And I literally just said, take the company and roll. Lesson. I did not realize what I freaking had. Just so you know, I had Josh James and John Pastana on my advisory board in that company. And what happened? Omniture, Adobe. Now, I'm not going to say they were really smart, but I was working with them. I was working with them from the very beginning when they were college guys. And it was cool, so cool. But I didn't realize SEO. No one knew what SEO. SEO didn't exist. Search engine optimization. The term didn't even exist. I just knew I can get anything on any website at the top, just like that. That's all I knew. And because I didn't recognize the opportunity, I said, peace out. I'm tired of fighting with you guys. I'm just going to do something different. That was that. Third story. Okay, I got another cool story. This one hurts. This one hurts. .com. That one kind of hurt, but this one hurts. .com. After that, I came up with a crazy idea with another business partner and said, man, when people get in accidents or car wrecks or something, the insurance company is supposed to pay, but they don't. what the heck? And I knew this from a personal experience. A family member went through a problem, and the insurance company dragged them 3 years out. And instead of getting the medical help they needed, they didn't. The injuries got worse. Lost their house. Sometimes you get divorced. Sometimes you end up homeless. It's a sad but real business. It's called, there's a lot of underwriting behind insurance, but they can look at you. What's your name? Burke? Burke. They can say, Burke, you're in an accident. You should be paid $1 million to get the right doctors and to get you all fixed up and all that. But they're going to say, you know what? We can drag this out 3.5 years. You'll sell it for $50,000. And by then, yeah, because you've already lost your home, your house, everything, your job. You're trying to scratch your head and figure out what to do. That's what they do. I hired them. They told me this. That's what I know. Okay? And if you don't know, that's just a whole new industry. Anyways, we decided to say, hey, let's be the good guys. Let's step in and say, Burke, we've raised millions of dollars. What we're going to do is get you the right attorneys, the right negotiators, the right expert witnesses, and we're going to, instead of dragging this 3 years out, we're going to settle this in 8 months. Instead of getting $1 million, we're going to get you 750, and we're going to take 100, so you keep 600, and get everything done right instead of losing everything in 3.5 years and only getting 50,000. And remember this? This thing exploded. Straight out of law school, I raised $15 million, 18 months, pitching to every venture capital, every angel you can think of. Pitching. And you think Shark Tank's good? No. Real life is, it's way rougher. That's a show. It's cool, but it's a show. Raised $15 million. We were on fire because we were doing something no one's done and helping a lot of people. Man, the testimonials, the stories were phenomenal. And then within a year after raising the money, I was kicked out. Within a year and a half later, my other partner was kicked out. Venture capital came in and said, hey, we're $1 billion. Peace out. See ya. And now it's a $1 billion industry, and you have to be a bank to get involved. And by the way, who funds it now? Insurance companies, just so you know. It's called settlement funding. It's an entire industry that exists. Lesson. If you're going to disrupt an industry and poke the bear, you better go strong and you better go fast. Okay? You better go strong. You better go strong, you better go fast. It's my 24th business. I've been waiting 18 months to have clarity that I have right now, and I have it. 100% clear as day on where Nui is going, where Mintage is going, how Symatri fits in. It's all clear as day. Number one. Nui. What's the purpose of blockchain? I had Dave come up and talk about blockchain. He talked about blockchain. Dave doesn't like to talk to anyone about anything, especially publicly. And I asked him, I had to beg him. He was in the server room setting up more servers, more crypto mining stuff. He had to do that. And blockchain. That was the only thing he's like dead passionate. And I knew that no matter what, if I said talk about blockchain, he's going to be just fine. Okay. Blockchain. The purpose of blockchain is to have a decentralized network that validates transactions. The internet was disruptive. Okay. It took us a long time to figure out what the freak the internet was, how to use it, what's email. I still remember coming back from Chile, and my little brother's like, you got an email. I still remember all that. I go, what's an email? And so I remember going through that. And the internet was disruptive, but it does not hold a candle to what blockchain is going to do. Blockchain, the internet made it so everyone on the planet could talk. Everyone. Okay, I can talk to Nahinu when he's sitting there in Guam, or I can talk to my wife when I'm in Japan next week. And we can communicate through these little mobile devices everywhere on the planet. It's really easy now. And it's, in fact, it's a form of life. There's all kinds of studies about kids now that, having talking social problems because they're so used to the device. This is everywhere. Blockchain is now going to make everything transparent. Everything. Meaning every transaction we do, there's going to be a complete record. That's all blockchain is. It's not rocket science. It just means, Bob, you and I are going to do a transaction, no third party. The way we're going to validate it so it really works is we're going to have Jeremy, we're going to have Carl, and we're going to have Doug record the same transaction and say, hey, I paid you $100 for your hat. Okay, real, great. We passed $100. Now everyone in the world knows. When I have that hat and I say, oh, I paid $1,000. No, it's already recorded publicly. Everyone on the planet knows it. So when I go sell that hat or I keep it, at least there's a transaction, and that is very simple explanation of what blockchain is. That's it. Now think about it. Dave mentioned to you legal. Can you imagine attorneys having to use blockchain? Really? Come on. Is there any attorneys in here? Raise your hand. I don't have any attorneys in here. You have to be kidding me. Okay, well, I did go to law school, but. Anyways, can you imagine that? How about medical records? How about trucking? How about real estate? Real estate, the entire industry of title searches is all based on this history of what's happened to a transaction. That's it. Everything is going to be touched and affected and changed by blockchain. I promise you, it'll happen no matter what, whether you guys are a part of it or not. It's going to happen. And it's going to dwarf the internet, the .com. It's going to smash it in size. Now, it's really important to get the picture of this before it happens, because it's happening. The cool thing, it's taken 8 years for Bitcoin to finally get some attention on the value side. It went from nothing to what, 19,000 back and all over the place, and everyone's like speculating, is there blah, blah, blah. That is a tip of the iceberg. Bitcoin is so small to the application of blockchain, but I think Bitcoin, I think the Satoshi crew and all those guys, I think all of them, because it took them 8 years to go break this. If you guys really understand it, in 1992, the coding was built for this. It wasn't until Satoshi grabbed this and started using it. And now it's taken 8 years to now you guys actually know what Bitcoin is. But blockchain is the real play. And that's where it's really at. So I love Bitcoin and I thank them. Kala. We have been really quiet. We scared ourselves to death. We did $7.5 million in 4 hours or something ridiculous like that. And it scared us. I thought it was going to take a long time, and I had all these celebrities and all these business gurus, and I had all these interviews, and I had all this promotion lined up. Man, where's Kinsey? And I said, oh, Richard, remember this? Cut the brakes, stop. We're not even ready for this. This is way too big, way too fast than we ever expected. So we've been really quiet. I was on 200 different crypto sites and experts being interviewed on why Kala. Well, that whole story started from Mr. Dave Childs, the guy back there in the server room. He brought a very, very significant CEO from one of the 4 largest banks on the planet, put me on a conference call with him, and I got my trash worked. This guy ringed me. He literally said, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. I'm like, okay, why? He goes, you got a core activity. You're creating, doing free things, earning points. You have points, and you have a place to redeem it. He goes, what's the #1 problem with crypto? Redemption. You don't have a place to redeem it. He goes, you're a fool. You should do a crypto. Okay, this is June of last year. And so we're like, okay, let's figure this out. It took a bunch of months, hired all the right guys, brought Dave's experts in, and brought a bunch of attorneys in, and all this work to put it together. But he goes, you're a fool, because people spend millions and millions of dollars to try and promote the ICO. Right, Sal? How many times have you been approached to go promote ICOs?
Many times it has to be a part of launching ICOs on the website and stuff like that. So I definitely know the struggle with the conference.
It's hard. All these ICOs are trying to come out and explain and get people to promote their product. We have 330,000 members. He goes, you already have the storytellers. You already have the activities to earn it. You already have the points. You already have the redemption center. Why don't you do it? So we did. And then we scared ourselves and went real quiet. I've held everyone back, all our PR, we've held all of it back. We closed the ITO. I will say this, knowing I have liability, but all the big players are coming in now. We had to close the ITO because we're doing a private sale. Richard, Troy, Reed, Kinsey, all of our execs fought back and said, dude, we got to let our members still score. Darren, the tens, the hundreds, the millions are all coming in. At least let our members just keep getting some while we're doing this. So we have created this private sale for NUI members. My job now is in the next 2 and 3 months is to allow the big boys to come in and close those deals. In my business career, I've never had, what am I at now? I think I'm up to 14 hedge funds tell me they want to put more than 10 million all the way up to $1 billion in. Okay? I'm liable for saying that. And that's my job for the next 2 months. Right, Richard? It's my job. It's what I've done. It's fun. So, Kala, yeah, you can get some if you want. Mintage mining. I'll go really hard once you guys see what's happening. Let's go back to Kala. Let's go back to Mintage mining. Phase 1, guys. Phase 1. What time are we at, bro? 20th. Okay. Phase 1. Phase 1, we work with third parties. We work with all kinds. You know, we got EOBots, Hashflares, Genesis. We got tons of them. Okay, we had over 30 different third parties. We liked it. We enjoyed it. The reason why we went that way is because I didn't have millions of dollars sitting in the bank. We didn't have $50 million to go buy all the servers and equipment and manage it and all that fun stuff. So Kevin, simple. We just went to our third parties. They were already using our AI. So we said, give us your inventory. We took it, we sold it. You guys have all done really well. Okay, simple. But the problem with that is they're third parties. And when we happen to do a lot better than them on mining, they say, guess what? They say, you know what, we're going to double your costs. You know how many times Dave and I have faced that conversation? Probably more than 30 times. Our partners have changed the deal on us because we're doing so well. Okay? During these last 3 months, find me any companies that have had as much success as Mintage Mining has. It's very rare because the entire crypto have taken a hit the last 3 months. That was phase 1. Phase 2. Phase 2 is simple. We have all of our own equipment. We're not relying on third parties. Dave, there is an interview that we filmed. I'm trying to see if anyone in here has direct ownership of that. I know the guys that put it together. 30 minutes where Dave was on camera and they were asking him all the hard questions you guys want. We got to get a hold of that video and we'll make it public. But it's where are the farms? Washington, Toronto, Denver. Putting one up next week in here. We're putting another one up here. We brought some stuff in here just so you guys can see it. All right. A lot of members of NUI don't understand what mining equipment is. So we have it in here so you can just look at it, touch it, feel it, kick it, take pictures with it, whatever. And that way you know this is real. We're using all of our own equipment and we're going wide. We're going really wide. And we're excited because we're not beholden to anything except for overhead, meaning the cost to rent the space to put it in there, and electricity and managing it. We're not beholden to a third party's changing their deal on us. You know, when Hashflare says, hey, we're going to double your charges, who do we cry to? We can't. It's not regulated. We can go sue them. Well, they got our inventory. It sucks, so we just have to roll with the punches. And that's how it is. Phase 2, 3-year rental agreements of actual hardware with the hardware listed, and you're grabbing a piece of that whole group. Every single week that will be public and available. Okay? I know it's beta. I know people have been upset, like, oh man, the bucket closed. We have over $50 million of current inventory sitting behind the scenes that you don't know about. I just signed another deal, or actually Dave did. Is he still hiding out? Okay. Dave just signed another deal for over $200 million worth. Right, Reed? It's sitting there. We're not making that public yet, but we're not worried yet about inventory. If you guys go break this and put 250 million in, then we'll take it to the next step. The cool thing is we've already bumped it from 50 to 200. We feel really comfortable, okay? So that's where phase 2 is. Phase 3. Dun, 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 dun. Jeremy, have we publicly talked about phase 3?
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
What'd we say? Just so I know.
Just about putting servers in your own home.
Okay, that's it. Putting servers in your own home. Blockchain, decentralized network. The world is controlled between 15, 12 different groups, conglomerates, that control all the petahash that are mining and doing the validation for all the different cryptocurrencies. That's reality. 8 years, the big boys have jumped in with lots of money, lots, and they have server farms everywhere. And you know, you got governments trying to shut them down, doesn't work. You can't shut crypto down. Russia and China have proved to us that you can't. They've tried. But these big boys, these 15, 12 groups, even more sometimes, have put billions of dollars into these server farms, and they run the world. Okay? So what's happening now is I'm just going to give you a scenario. If I were a trucking company, and I wanted to create my own blockchain to make sure that everything I shipped ended up in the right spot, and then came back, and it was 100%. I don't know if you guys know trucking, but 3 to 5% is lost in theft. So blockchain is a dream come true for them because they can track everything. I know this because I'm sitting here in the middle of a contract. And you're going, okay, if they have blockchain, 3 to 5% for $1 billion company is a lot of money. All right? Do they want to go work with the big guys that can pump and dump them? Destroy their coin, destroy their validation, destroy their blockchain application? And the answer is no. See, these guys for the last couple of years have been making billions of dollars because they come in, buy their token for a cent, sell it for 25 cents, all in 15 minutes, pump and dump, gone, see ya, ciao, pascal, see you later. And that's what happens. Well, there's real companies that are billion-dollar companies that really are real, and they're trying to build a blockchain that lasts forever. Where do you think they're coming to? Just take a guess. Where would you go? Bob, I'm going to pick on you, bro. Where would you go if you don't want to work with the guys that control it? Well, what are you going to do?
Somebody that might be starting out.
Okay, good answer. But someone that's starting out, find something, or what they're doing is they're changing their codes now, their blockchain. They're saying, gosh dang, okay, these 15 guys, what we're going to do is create algorithms that if Bart is huge, mining 30% of the whole world, if it goes to his IP address, we're only going to allow 1%. And then we got to search another place, and search another place, and search another place, and search another place. Blockchain is evolving super quick, fast. What they're doing is going back to the original idea of a decentralized network. Here's the fun part. This is where it all comes together. Network marketing is the most perfect model I've ever seen for a decentralized network. Meaning, me and Troy do a deal. We're partners. Hey, join my MLM, bro. Come on board. You can make $500 a month. Cool. And then he talks to Amy back there. Hey, join my business. Do $500. She talks to Richard, right? And Richard's talking to his dad, Courtney. And then we're back to Doug. That's network marketing. Network marketing was built, or I should say blockchain was built for network marketing. The models are exactly the same, opposite. I cannot fit a better business model that I've ever seen in my entire life and fit them together like a hand in a glove. Blockchain needs a decentralized network in order for it to stand the longevity of time and to take it from this $1 billion mark to the $1 trillion mark. NUI is planting their flag in the ground saying, we are going to be blockchain. We are going to be the railroad. We are going to be the rails to the biggest gold rush you guys have ever witnessed in your entire life. That is what we are going to do. We're going to do it. We already lost the arms race, guys. We don't have $1 billion. China can go throw $50 billion at it if they want. They can't. Because now it's a race to see who gets the first, biggest, fastest, decentralized network on the planet. And that is what NUI is going to do with Mintage. That is who we are, and that's why phase 3 is so critical. Jeremy, how many people do you have on your team?
200,000.
200,000 people on this team. What would happen if we had a rig in 200, well, first off, how many countries are they in?
Countries? Oh, wow.
123.
Oh,
123, there we go.
Jeremy has a lot of people in 123 countries. What happens if we had one rig in every single one of your members' houses?
Spread all over the world.
I'll give you the numbers, okay? If we had 1,000 rigs in different houses and they all became a node, they're fun terms for you. If they did that, we'd beat 25% of the coins out there on the planet. If we had 10,000 homes with a rig, we would be in the top, I gotta stand in the middle. There we go. If we had 10,000 rigs, mining rigs in homes, we would be in the top 10% of the world for a decentralized network. I actually know the exact number to take over the world, just so you know. 40,000 rigs, and we win the race. No one even knows we're in a race. No one even knows what blockchain is. They're still trying to figure it out. How are we going to do it? 1 million people making $500 a month. Oh, by the way, how much do these rigs pay usually a month? $300, $400, $500 a month. Crystal clear, my friends. It's a race to build the fastest, strongest, decentralized network in the world, and we're going to win this race. And that is what we're doing. And that is why we're so jacked out of our mind when South Carolina puts the smackdown on our partners, Genesis Mining, saying, hey, this might be security, and they're all fighting over it, because they are. But what we have is something none of our partners or competitors have, and that's the ability to actually hand you a rig. Oh, by the way, wait a second. My gosh, they're 220. You can't plug that into your house. Don't worry, Dave's already got it figured out. We already have a contract with Bitmain. We already have 15,000 rigs ready to go. That plug into 110. Oh, and by the way, John Johnson, what do you think they mine? Everything, but what else in particular? Kala. Brought it back to Kala. I got in trouble the other day. I was running so fast. We have our own rig that mines Kala on SHA-256, and we have a deal directly. You can thank Dave whenever you see him. Just give him a pat on the back. We have a contract in hand to run. This is a race. People don't know what Kala is. We're being quiet. We'll bring the big money in. We'll go build this. We basically copied Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin has 8-9 years on us. They've done a great job. There's a lot of things we've learned from them. A lot. In fact, we went with 21 billion tokens. Why? Because everyone is sick and tired of that 8-digit decimal. They don't know what the freak that is. But they do know what $10.50 is. Oh, I know what $100.25 is. So Kala's only carried 2 digits, just like everything we've been raised with. That's why we went with 21 billion, okay? Instead of the whole 10, 20,000, just move it 3 digits over. If we hit $10, we just matched Bitcoin's highest value they ever had, okay? There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that I've been dying to share that we're excited about, and that's why we're jacked out of our minds. So here we go. Kala's the gas for core, guys. It's what's going to make it different. And there's one major point I have right here. Kala has value because of why. Where did Richard go? Richard always gets excited about this. Why does Kala, where is it getting its money from? That's where you redeem it. But where's the money coming in to make Kala worth something? Advertising. $600 billion a year on this planet spent on advertising. That's what's funding the value of Kala. That's the difference. Okay, we're not just cooking this up. We're going to learn from our competitors and our pioneers that set this out before us. We're going to learn from these guys, and we're going to do it better. All right, and we're going to go use our relationships. But what I want to say to this is this: there's one major reason on why. Yes, we have a network. Yes, we're going to go. Yes, we're going to go full speed. Yes, we're going to be able to make these rigs affordable. Yes, we're going to figure out how to finance the ability to put these in homes. So when I knock the door, hey, you want to make $300 a month? Yeah, okay, great, fill out the application, boom, okay? We're going down that road. But there's another thing that's different from us and every other company on the planet, and that's NUI. Aloha Nui. I was doing a study this morning. Where's Glenn at? Where'd he go? Glenn wakes me up every day. I see him at the gym. This guy's a couple years older than me. He frustrates me because he is fit. And so, is he left? Yeah, I always compete with him. He knows it. Yeah, I tell him. I'm always competing with him, but he's fit. And I was talking to him the other day about this, and what it is when we're talking Aloha Nui, and we're talking Nui, this is where it gets real personal to me. This is where we talk about my dreams. Guys, I've already made $1 million, okay? I've already lost it. I made it again, and I already gave it away, because I did. And then I lost it again, and I've made it. I right now, because of Mintage Mining, I don't think I publicly said this. I'm on video. Okay, I better not. Because of Mintage Mining, our family's good. I'll just say that. Right? Thanks, my wife just showed up. Yeah. We're good. That's all I'll say about that. But when we talk about dreams and purpose and reason why I get out of bed, it's truly to help 1 million people make $500. Blockchain just happened. We happen to be here, and I'm going, holy cow, the stories I shared with you, I know an opportunity when I see one, and I'm not going to miss this one. I will not miss this one. Dave and I, we've had battles on this. Richard Troy, all the execs, we've gone rounds and rounds on what NUI is. NUI is blockchain. We aren't there yet, but we will be. And I want you to put that in the back of your minds. NUI is blockchain. Right this second, we have over 6 contracts signed, done, ready to go on our network because they want the distributed network of NUI. When you guys keep talking about results and Mintage Mining on phase 2 and phase 3, it just gets better. Why? Because they're willing to come to get a network that's friendly to them. They give us a discount. They give us their coin. They give us the application. They give us the rigs to mine their own token. I'm thinking of an ICO right now. They raised $500 million. They haven't released it to anyone because they're paranoid and scared to death. So they went and put their own chip, their own algorithm. They IP'd it. They did everything. They have their own rigs. Who'd they call up? Us. We have a contract sitting in hand where they want to give us their rigs at a discount. Why? They want the decentralized network. They want NUI. So what do? Cool, we'll be friends, we'll work with you. We'll do a deal, give us your coin, give us your discount, we'll mine, we'll put it in everyone's houses. That is where we're going. It's crystal clear. I'm not going to miss this opportunity again. I was in the .com. I was there, made some, lost some, all that fun stuff. Blockchain's bigger, and that's where we're going. So when it comes to Aloha Nui, the last thing I want to wrap up with this, it's been around for 8 years, right? Bitcoin, crypto, it's been around. The big money's come in, the conglomerates have come in, and they've made billions of dollars. In fact, it's stated that there's more than 1 million millionaires from Bitcoin itself. That's a fact, and you can go check it out. But what's different about NUI is I talked to George, because George always tells me some crazy joke about how handsome he is or I am, right? And he's always friendly, funny, no matter how hard life is, he's always joking around me. George is my friend. I am George's friend. We're going to bring the Aloha back to where network marketing should have always had it. When we talk about paying it forward and the go-giver, the philosophy and culture that we live by, that is what we want. And that is why we're going to succeed. I care about George, his daughter, one of his sons that goes to church with, we went to church together. I'm in a different church, different ward. And so I care about George and his family. I want George to succeed. George wants me to succeed because if I do, I help him. See. Really, we talk person to person. And that's how network marketing is. Blockchain is a replica, but it's the technical side of person-to-person, peer-to-peer, decentralized network. I talk to you, you talk to them from 7 levels or whatever you want to call it. That's what NUI is, that's what blockchain is, and that's why we're jacked out of our mind. Because no matter how hard these companies bring with billions of dollars, they don't have the human element. They don't have the human touch. They don't have the care, the love, the heart to help someone pay it forward. We stand, we live, we're going to help 1 million people make $500. And the reason why we're going to help people make $500 is not the 500 freaking bucks. It has nothing to do with it. The $500 is to help them breathe again so that they can spend that couple hours with their kid, their family, their coaching, whatever they're doing. They can go do what they feel in their heart. It gives you that time, that possibility to dream again. Just like Kinsey shared up here with you, it allows people to dream again and change the freaking world. Through NUI, you can have hope. Once you've worked and had a little bit of success and start making your $500, you have confidence. And then we create this community of people that really care, that want to be blockchain, that want to change the world and do good. And then you create massive change through little efforts. That's NUI. NUI's blockchain. Thank you guys for coming, and that's a wrap.
Oh, I forgot.
No, you didn't forget. Listen,
I forgot, sorry.
I'm not going to talk Mike because it doesn't need to. I'm loud. He's great in rugby. Don't you leave, buddy. You think it's because of his size, arm-wise. He's not. He's fast. He's very, very fast. Camera.
I totally forgot. Sorry, Alex. That's all right.
Okay. We've now moved to phase 2. Good, better, best. Good is good.
Good was really good for us. Good's still going to be good for you. Move to better. We're going to walk you through that. Go have your free customers fill out a credit app and see what they can get mining units for free. Here's best. This little unit has been developed by Dave.
Not developed.
No, I know, but it's been customized.
Okay.
With our AI in it, right?
Yes. Yeah, we'll do all that. Yeah.
I'm talking the right language. Oh.
Like you're saying Antminer, I'm like, dude, we don't fight Bitmain. They're huge. They're our partners.
Of course, we're getting them from the top elite manufacturers, but it's customized for NUI, for Mintage Mining. You'll plug it in the wall, it'll hook up to your Wi-Fi, and bada bing, bada boom, you're making some money. That's going to get real fun real fast. Why? Because we're going to decentralize. Do you know what he's talking about? You guys kind of glaze over a little bit. Do you know what decentralized means? Do you know who's mining most of the coins right now? Communist countries. If you're a great big trucking, U.S. trucking firm, would you ever want to have somebody out of the country mining your coin? But see, what mining is not a good word either, is it?
It's not. It's infrastructure.
It's infrastructure. They're validating the transactions, and Darren did a great job with that. Listen, Mintage Mining Credit really wants to help you. There's a promo. A lot of you are a little bit confused. It's Mintage. That's the promo. Guys, Clay's going to show you how to turn your... Clay's going to show you after lunch how to use your cell phone and the contacts on your cell phone and your social media to be able to go build your business using a tool that he created and we've endorsed called Nui Connect. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you how all this hardware, all this craziness, all this pays you. I'm going to go over the comp time. So go have a little bite to eat, and I'm not going to let them go yet. Darren's going to close out. Go have a little bite to eat, come back, learn how to expose your business, and more importantly, let's learn how to make money together. Thanks.
I was actually going to have Jeremy talk to you guys really quick and close out before lunch, and then we'll have those things that Richard mentioned. But before I do, I just want to mention you guys, Jeremy has been up, down, sideways, all kinds of times, right? How many times have we had to build teams together? I actually met him 7 years ago on a conference line saying, bro, I'm going to Mexico. You want me to help your people? And I ended up there. Where's my wife again? We ended up in Mexico for an entire month training Jeremy's whole entire team. I'm very, good friends with him, proud of him, thankful for all that he's done and for being loyal and helping out, because Jeremy gets offers every day from every company to say, hey, come over here. I appreciate you, bro. And I'll turn the time over to you.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, everybody. Wow. So the number one question, everyone hears that number, they say, 200,000 people on your team, how did you do that? Right? And because everyone wants to do it, right? Everyone would love to have 200,000 people on their team. And, it's not that I'm, any smarter than anybody else out there or, work harder than anybody else out there. But I think one of the key principles of why that happened, I've been doing network marketing, like Darren said, for a lot of years, about over 20 years now. And I've, gone through all of it. We've, all been there where we've just put money in and tried to make it work, and we keep losing money and we finally give up, and then another company comes along and we think, okay, we're going to try our hand at this one, and you keep going. But what it really comes down to is that, what's the right word? The perseverance, the stick-with-itness, the making it happen. You have to believe, right? And when I started believing is when I met, for the first time, Richard Smith, Troy Mielstein, and Darren in a previous company, and I all of a sudden started to believe. I all of a sudden started to have a result, an actual moment where I was making, for the first time, more than I was spending each month on the product, on the auto ship. And that belief turned into something that made me start to be consistent, right? And I recognized, I knew that previous to that, I would do everything I tried to, to follow my upline, my leaders. They would say, oh, do the conference call, do the webinars, do, the in-home meeting. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's the consistency. And I think what my failure was for so many years before I finally started having success was that I would do it for, 2 weeks, a month, maybe, 2-3 months. I would try and do my meeting, my call, whatever, and then I would see that the numbers would drop, not enough people would come, and I would just give up. I would quit, right? What I figured out was that when you get on a conference call, when you set up that you're going to do a meeting, when you say you're going to do, a webinar or whatever, you just do it. You just do it, and you just do it, and you just do it, and if nobody shows up, who cares? You just do it. Because people need to see that consistency. People need to see that belief. And they, wow, Jeremy is here every single Saturday doing his webinar, no matter what. Even if I only have one person on there, right? We do it, no matter what. And that, it's amazing. It's amazing what happened because people all of a sudden start to believe in it. And then it starts to grow. And it starts to happen. It starts to network, starts to blossom. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, 200,000 people on your team, right? And it's not people, I don't speak Japanese. A lot of them are from Japan. We got a lot of Russians on the team. I don't speak Russian, right? So don't think that you have to speak another language. Don't think that you have to have mega technical skills, to do all this stuff. It's not that. It's just the consistency. Figure out what works for you, whether it's doing a, freeconferencecall.com, you can do that. Everybody can do that, can get a free number from them. If it's doing a, Zoom is free, right? You can go download it, create your account. It's absolutely free. Just schedule a time to do your Zoom meeting and do it, right? And then be consistent. Be consistent. Have guests. If you're kind of nervous being on there, get, whoever's on your team that likes to speak, get them on there. But do it. Do it, do it, do it. Now that we have everything they just announced today, there is no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. You can sign up for free in Mintage. I know free member for Nui is coming pretty soon here. We've got everything ready so that we can start rocking and rolling. So take advantage of it. Don't squander the opportunity. Run. Decide right now that this is what you want to do, that you want to change your life. And as Darren said, do not miss out on this opportunity because it's going to change everything. So with that, go get some lunch. Oh, Mike wants to close it out.
I get the last word. No, actually, I won't get the last word. Just a couple of things. We're going to break for lunch, but before we go to break lunch, there's places close by. There's a truck, Kitchen 88, that's downstairs. They specialize in tri-tip and a bunch of other stuff, so they're already prepping. So if you wanted to stay local and go to the truck, you're right downstairs at the bottom. But before we break, Darren did miss a couple things that I want to make sure he covers right now before he goes, okay?
Yeah,
So Darren.
I just got in trouble right when I stepped over there. It's like I forgot. All right, guys, totally forgot. Phase 3, the machines, the rigs. If you want to be first and beta test with us, write this email down, text it, type it, whatever. blockchain@nui.social. blockchain@nui.social.
Is that for our people? Or?
That's for, yeah, you two on there on camera. blockchain@nui.social. All one word, BLOCKCHAIN @NUI.SOCIAL. Nui.social. I totally forgot to mention, as you guys have seen, Mintage Mining, we went through some beta. We went through 4 or 5, months of just trying it out, massaging, making sure it worked best. We are going to do the same thing with phase 3. We have, Reed, do I say the number? Nah, I don't say the number yet. We have rigs ready to test. And so we're not sure when we're going to, but we need to know who wants to test with us during the beta phase of phase 3. So send me an email at blockchain@nui.social. Just give us your name and your affiliate number and we're good to go. We are taking a list because we want to know, and that's for the people on here. That's for the people watching the video, and that's for the member. What?
Question about, is there any time frame for Nui Free at all?
We will discuss that and announce that shortly. Not in this, maybe in this, I don't remember, but I know the answer in my head, but I don't know what I can say. So, marketing company, so hold on. So, and then the other thing I wanted to mention, I had trouble for 2 things. That was one. Number 2 was, I don't know if I emphasized this, but for us, this is a 10-year run. Like, whoever builds the infrastructure, the rails, whoever has the railroads and everything, this decentralized network, it's going to be used, and it's going to modify, and it's going to be adjusted, and it's going to upgrade. It's going to continue to evolve. But this is going to be around just as long as the internet is. Okay, I still remember 1994, my little brother telling me about email. Okay, how many years later is that? 23 years later now, 24 years later, internet's still around, strong, all that. That's what we think blockchain's doing. When we talk about building the infrastructure, that's exactly the direction on where we're going. I forgot to emphasize also, we believe that the first 10,000 people that run with us, when I was saying on a couple other conference calls back maybe a month ago, when I said, hey, our goal has changed to help our 100, our 1,000, our 10,000 people become millionaires, this is what I meant. We have the rigs, we have the rails, we have Kala. All right? Look at the history of Bitcoin as a model of where we're going. So we're doing this long term, and it's really important to understand that. When cryptos go up and down and everywhere, that's fine. It doesn't really affect us. We're building this for blockchain, and that's where we're going to participate. Cryptos is just a little piece, the cryptocurrencies. It's the applications on all the businesses that need validation and need infrastructure and need the mining to work. So that's what I was going to mention. Okay? Now, we will be doing questions and answers after. There's still 2 more different things I want everyone to show for the comp plan side. And then, here, I'll get back to you.
We're taking testimonials, just so you know. Would you like to share a testimonial? Look up Gina. She's back there, and she direct you to where, if you feel like sharing a testimony about Nui Social, that'd be great. So she's right back here. All right? Break, you're ready to go. Take a break, grab some food, come on back, because we got some. So you'll be back here about 12:30. So around there, so grab some food. Again, the truck downstairs got some excellent food. You gotta try the tri-tip and everything else we got. Thanks, folks.
Get started.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Stick with it.